Some people are not born to live ordinary lives. They are born to rewrite destiny, to break limits, and to dominate every field they step into. This is the story of a man whose name alone creates fear, a man who became the symbol of power, destruction, and dominance. This is the story of Brock Lesnar, the man the world knows as the Beast Incarnate. On July 12, 1977, in a quiet and remote town of Webster, South Dakota, a child was born into a simple farming family. There were no cameras, no celebrations, no signs of greatness, just a normal life filled with struggle and hard work. Brock Lesnar's childhood was not like a fairy tale. It was harsher than reality itself. His father was a farmer, and every member of the family worked. There was no concept of comfort, only survival. From a very young age, Brock learned that life is not easy. You have to make yourself strong. He would wake up before sunrise, work in the fields, lift heavy equipment, take care of animals, and then go to school. This was his daily routine. These were the days that built his body like steel and his mind like a warrior. He did not fear pain, because he had already lived with it. When he entered school, it was clear he was different, stronger, faster, more aggressive than everyone else. But his real identity began to form when he stepped into wrestling. At first, it was just a sport, but soon it became his purpose. He didn't just want to win, he wanted to destroy his opponents completely. There was a fire inside him that refused to slow down. As time passed, Brock Lesnar pushed himself beyond limits. He earned a place at University of Minnesota, where competition was fierce and only the best survived. But Brock wasn't just another athlete. He was a force. Every match for him was a war, and he was born to win wars. In 2000, when he won the NCAA Heavyweight Championship, it wasn't just a victory, it was an announcement to the world that a storm had arrived. That victory opened doors that most people can only dream of. In 2002, he stepped into WWE, and from the very first moment, he shocked the world. His power, his speed, his aggression, everything about him was unreal. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was destruction itself. Within months, he achieved what others take years to accomplish. He defeated The Rock and became the youngest WWE champion in history. At just 25 years old, Brock Lesnar became a global sensation. He was no longer just a name, he became fear. But just when he was at the peak of his success, he made a decision that shocked everyone. He walked away. No concern for fame, no attachment to money. He wanted something real, something more challenging. He tried his luck in the NFL, stepping into a completely different world. But this time, things didn't go his way. He failed. And for the first time in his life, he faced rejection. This was a moment that could break any ordinary man, but Brock Lesnar was not ordinary. He turned his failure into fuel. He stood up again, stronger, hungrier, and this time he chose a battlefield where nothing was scripted, where everything was real. In 2007, he entered UFC. People laughed at him. They said a wrestler could never survive in real fighting, but once again, Brock proved the world wrong. Fight after fight, he dominated his opponents with raw power and aggression, and in 2008, he did the impossible. He became the UFC heavyweight champion. At that moment, he made history. He became one of the very few men to conquer both entertainment wrestling and real combat sports. But the toughest battles are not fought inside the ring, they are fought within. Just when everything seemed perfect, Brock was hit with a life-threatening illness, diverticulitis, a disease that nearly ended his life. He was lying in a hospital bed, weak, helpless. The same man who once destroyed others could barely stand on his own. Doctors doubted his return, but they underestimated his will. Brock Lesnar refused to give up. He fought his illness like he fought his opponents, with everything he had. And he survived. Not just survived, he came back stronger, more dangerous than ever. In 2012, when he returned to WWE, the world knew something big was coming. And then came the moment that changed history forever, when he defeated The Undertaker and ended his legendary undefeated streak at WrestleMania. It wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. From that moment on, Brock Lesnar was no longer just a fighter. He became a legend, a symbol of dominance, a name that represents power itself. He went on to win multiple championships, defeat the biggest names, and establish himself as one of the most dangerous athletes in history. Today, Brock Lesnar lives a quiet life on his farm with his family, away from the spotlight. But his story is far from over, because every time he steps into the ring, the world stops, because they know the beast has returned. This story teaches us something powerful, that success is not just about strength, it is about resilience, patience, and never giving up. Brock Lesnar is not just a fighter, he is a lesson, a reality, that if a person truly wants, they can turn the impossible into possible. If you love real, powerful, and mind-blowing stories like this one, then make sure to subscribe to ZeeMystery, because here we bring you stories that will change the way you see the world.